Fantastic! Welcome everyone to our ever so lucky or unlucky 13th installment of our Descent into Avernus campaign. Last time they all reached level 7, so that means we will be doing a dice giveaway.
Yes.
All beautiful green dice that are just the essence of spring. We
Mm.
will begin the giveaway in midway of our episode and draw at the end as per usual. But well, my friends, before we jump into where we left off, tell us what happened last time. No, tell me. No, first tell me your names.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited.
Wait, why don't you tell us your name first?
Yes, exactly.
Oh boy, it's a 13th
It's gonna
episode.
it's gonna get weird. All right, I am Sage, your storyteller this evening.
And my name is Celeste Kotowich, and I shall be playing your lovable tiefling wizard, Malady.
Hi there, everybody. My name's JB, and today I'm going to be playing a little Rolling Bell Ring Dance Grill.
Oh, bless your heart.
Oh, bless your heart.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm going to be playing Kaylee Bramblebarrel, your halfling monk.
Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Hieronius Dohard, played by Naseem Etamad.
I'm Calvin Coleridge, Fire Genasi Artificer, and I'll be played by Paul Harpring.
I really just want Hieronius to have a podcast where he just like talks about things.
Yeah, and then you're all special guests rotating week to week.
I love it.
The special episode with Malady is about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you
ask
think
me
about what
questions,
happened?
and I say no.
It's a lot of. It's
Tell
a
us
lot
about
of
why
tongue.
you're here.
Unlock
know
this
why I'm
door
here.
and let me out right now.
It's a lot of tongue clicking. You know, we're just like. And anyway.
Spring, huh?
Well, my friends, remind us all what happened last time.
Did we get a JB recap, or should we?
Oh,
Are we
no,
doing-
I was very
Okay.
busy today, and it's
Okay.
so hot.
Okay. Yeah. So where did we start last time? Oh yes.
We landed.
Oh
We
yes,
had
we
just
started
landed.
in a storm of human fingernails. That's
yes.
where we started. We did it. We valiantly reached, touched ground in Avernus, only to be buffeted by horrendous winds of human fingernails in this horrible place, and these winds that were like full of evil. So we just started walking in a direction as like evil ass winds with nails were just pelting us, and we felt pretty shitty about it. But
Yeah,
we
those
made-
winds had an
yeah.
attitude.
They had an attitude, and I did not like it. Yeah, and so we were basically like walking in a direction trying to find Fort Knucklebone, which apparently Lulu, the little elephant who's following us, maybe had a friend there. So we're like, I guess that's the best lead we've got. Awesome. So we just started walking, and we pulled out the map of Avernus, and eventually we made our checks. The evil wind didn't sap our souls or whatever, and we found Fort Knucklebone, which is very literal, made out of knuckle bones, and all around it were all these like spooky little like fae, which was like, whoa, weird, what? But they were all red caps, but some of them were like really messed up, but more on that later. And basically they tried to fuck with us and get a password that doesn't exist, and Malady wasn't having any of it. So they walked through, they got there, and apparently there's like a big garage like auto shop in the middle of this like fort. So, you know, they got inside, yeah, and Calvin is like, oh my god, it's a motorcycle from hell.
It's like a crazy hell bus.
It's
This
a-
thing is ridiculous.
What?
It's not just a motorcycle.
Well, there was
Come
the
on.
motorcycle outside that they were working on, and then we
Oh,
saw
yeah.
the big cool thing inside. And
Yeah.
basically, the chick who runs this thing is Mad Maggie, who's like rad as hell, maybe a hag, I don't know. But anyway, she's like, "Oh wow, welcome. Maybe you can help me if I help you." And she's like, "I want to look in that little elephant's head." And then we're like, "Oh, okay." are you cool with that, Lulu? And Lulu's like, I'm fine, whatever. And then, so we agreed to do that. And while Maggie was like waiting for the ritual time or whatever, Kaylee wanted some shoes. So Kaylee went to the shoe man and was like, give me them shoes. And he's like, I gotta give me my tooth. And she's like, oh no. So she went and got the tooth back from these madcaps by literally ripping out her own teeth. Just ripping them out to trade.
Cash.
To trade, and so she got the madcap tooth back or whatever, and then went back to the guy just like, make me shoes, and he's like, oh, okay, sick. And then this whole time, Melody and Roland had a very uncomfortable conversation where Roland was basically like, hey, brah, like, I'm here for you. You don't have to do this alone or whatever. And Melody's like, fuck you. I am alone. Always alone. And then
you okay boomered Roland.
I
Breaking
did.
Benjamin was playing in the background.
Yeah. Yep. And I was like, you don't understand anything. Yeah. You know, I don't have the means to die. Like, I don't have that privilege. So whatever. And then she went and cried in a corner. And then the big, like, flesh golem, who is like Mad Maggie's assistant with like a tube face. So basically he like had a thorn in his foot and started like bouncing around.
Bone devil spur through the top of his fucking foot.
God. Yeah. So Hero helped him out.
That's what Mickey looks like.
Oh, that's...
Everybody do the Mickey.
Yeah. Yeah, all the little red caps were making fun of him and being real dicks about it. So Hero helped him and got the thorn out of his foot eventually, and Calvin healed him with some electricity, and everything was great. Then we all rendezvoused back up. We all drank some wheatgrass and are about to go on a vision quest inside of Lulu's brain.
Yep.
And that's that.
Actually, only we drank wheatgrass.
Only Kaylee and Melody drank the wheatgrass. So everyone else is just like, nah, I'm cool. So I guess we're going to die. So
yep. This is cool.
You have a backup character?
Tight.
Well, maybe the monster Melody will become if she dies. Could be an interesting
Malady.
character. What? Sorry, what?
Yes, and so that was pretty much where we are picking up. You all had, partaken in this, like, boiled okra, kind of chunky, slurpy, slimy, warm.
Good. Oh.
Concoction.
With your adjective.
You got anything else? Sticky? You want to say it's sticky too?
Oh,
the goblet is sticky.
No.
And so what M had seen was this beautiful meadow, and it's kind of like looking off. It saw Lulu and this beautiful angelic woman who had this cloth delicately draped over her eyes, who were kind of just, enjoying a summer afternoon as there kind of the spray of rainbows, and it was all happy, good feelings. And you heard basically over like the intercom in your head was Mad Maggie's voice of, well, this is a load of shit. You got to keep pushing deeper, darker. We'll get to her true feelings. But Kaylee, you didn't also receive the same vision. You saw something very differently. You find yourself in this small, cramped, pitch black room on which on one side is this iron door with a slot that can only be opened through the other side that has been bolted shut. And you hear, coming from somewhere else trapped, a scream that sounds harsh and just like a desperation and just almost like a seeking for air. And you hear this wave of voices kind of ripple across the air, and as this feeling of madness just kind of touches your mind, and then this all kind of quiets down, and then suddenly you hear the voice of a young girl, almost as if it's coming from over your shoulder, and she sounds scared and alone and afraid. And you say, "Don't worry, it's okay." And you realize you've been talking to yourself in the darkness. I would like for you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Roll for sanity. Oh boy.
15.
So you're good.
Mhm.
You find comfort in your own voice. And then the scene begins to shift. M, you see a flame-encircled battlefield that's on the landscape, which you could only assume to be Avernus. And at the center, you see, you as in like you are in from Lulu's perspective, is your little golden elephant self that's flying down next to this angel with big, huge, probably easily 20-foot wingspan of these white, kind of gilded wings. And you see them just unconscious and lying on the ground with missing a hand. And you, with your little elephant trunk, pick up this radiant, kind of silvery looking sword and begin to fly off over a battlefield of these spine covered devils and demons in this writhing, bloody mass of battle. And you hear Mad Maggie's voice cry, "The devils! You must fight them off!"
Jesus Christ.
And I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
Just me?
Yep.
Fuck. Good thing I'm a wizard.
Good
God
thing I'm a wizard. I
damn
have so
it.
many hit points. So much armor.
That's a 12. Fuck.
Glad I went with you to help.
And so you
God.
you kind of look over your shoulder as you're flying madly through the air, and you see 6 of these spiny purple looking devils close at hand, and you see they reach out, 2 of them reach out and go to grab your legs to drag you to the ground, and we're gonna make an opposed grapple check.
Am I rolling as me or like Lulu's stats?
Yeah.
What?
Use
Okay.
your stats.
I'm
So
like-
yeah, you will effectively work just exactly as you are with all of your spell slots. You're at full hit points and everything, but
Okay, well, grapple's not great. So, can I use my dexterity or acrobatics?
yeah, you can use
or,
acrobatics to get out.
Okay.
Acrobatics or athletics.
Well, that's still a 10. So,
And so you feel these claws grab your ankles, and they just kind of like put the brakes on as they flap their wings, and you begin to just drop and plummet to the floor, and you will take 6 psychic damage as you crash onto the ground. And then it is your action as you are facing off with 6 of these spine devils.
oh boy. Okay. All right. So they are. Damn. Okay. Wow, Melody, it'd be so great if you had damage spells, wouldn't it? Fuck. Okay, well, I guess now that I'm here and they're all diving for me, I'm gonna go ahead and like panic, like take out my book and like cast mirror image. So a bunch of melodies are now running around, hopefully making it a little bit harder for them to rock my shit.
Very good.
But also, as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's see. What am I? Yes. Oh, disadvantage on the saving throw. Huh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my bonus action to try and assess the name of one of these creatures.
Cool. Is it charisma?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
DC
Okay.
16.
Whew, that is a natural 1.
Yay! Okay, what's its name? Tell me your name! 5 melodies say to one of these spine devils.
So what about this one strikes you as different that you want to reach out and be like, your name?
Yeah, I think maybe it's the biggest of them, and I think it's like, kind of barbed plumage actually ends in like different like scintillating rainbow colors. So it's like, it's like the macaw of the rest of them. It's just way more sparkles.
And so Barbie over here, you easily reach kind of into its mind, and more Zach.
More Zach. I say it in that exact same voice 6 times. And then that's going to be my action.
And so back to them, they immediately kind of, you see 3 of them kind of jump up and beat their wings to give them kind of a little bit of air before they dive down with these spiny pitchforks. And they're gonna attack you. And then how does mirror image work for attacks?
Yeah, so basically you roll to attack me, and if you hit me, you have to roll a d20 to determine if you hit me or one of the illusions. So go ahead and roll against me. My AC is 17.
Wow. Well, sorry. One of them, no.
Okay.
2 of them, no. 3 of them, yes. One of them, yes. And so roll d20. 12.
Okay. All right. So if you have 3 duplicates, you must. Okay, so you hit one of my duplicates. So I have 3 duplicates, and one of them basically gets hit, and then dissipates, absorbing whatever damage they would have dealt to me.
Cool. And then it is your turn.
Okay. Sweet. All right, so I have my duplicates. I have the name of one of them, which is neat. Oh, God. Falling damage. Such a pain in the butt. Oh, God. I wish my fucking shield was useful at all in any way. Okay. Sorry, everybody. No, I'm taking so long. Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and I'll do magic missiles. So
Nice.
I'll do magic missiles, and I'll send 3 of them at Barbie, and then / more Zach, and then one at a different one. So
Okay.
here we go. Or you know what? I'll crank it up. I'll use a 2nd level spell slot, so I get more. Okay, so the first one,
Nice.
Barbie takes 4, 5 damage, so 14 total. And then the other one is going to take 4 plus 3, so 7 points of damage to the other one. And as I'm doing this, since I know the name of Morzak, I'm going to use my resonant utterance absorption. So when I cast a spell that deals damage to my named target, I gain 3d6 temporary hit points.
Very cool.
So basically, as I deal this damage, I pull some of its life force back towards me, and get some temp HP.
That's awesome. Yeah, you see Morzak looks an inch within an inch of his life, and with the other one that you pelt with your magical blast, it just completely disintegrates.
Yeah.
And then they are going to keep trying attacking you.
All right.
Nope. Man, they even have like advantage because and that's a whole big pile of nope. Em is handling it.
I got this. Em is like doing dodges and weaves and stuff because she a wizard from the streets.
And then it's your turn again.
Not your grandpa's wizard. Okay, sweet. So Barbie is still up.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then let's see. 1 is down, so I've got 5 left altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. Cute. Really cute. Is Waldo here in the stream with me?
Waldo is there.
No. I was hoping you would say no. Because he's the worst. Okay. Here we go. All right. So Melody, I think, is going to like look, and all of these things are like kind of dive bombing her, surrounding her. So she's going to clap her book together and stomp a hoof on the ground and cast Thunder Wave. So 15-foot cube, hoping to slam them all here. So I need
con save?
Yeah, Constitution saving throw. 16.
Only Barbie surpasses it.
Okay, so on a failed save, they're all going to take 2d8 thunder damage. boom. Okay, so that's 6 double sixes, so 12 thunder damage. And they are pushed 10 feet away from me. Barbie's going to take 5, since that's half, and not get pushed.
And yeah, as you stomp your hoof onto the ground and you feel this just like kind of inner power erupt and ripple the earth that trembles out, and these rocks jut out of the landscape, which forces them back, and you see that they're all actually just like disintegrate into nothingness.
Mm.
And you hear Mad Maggie say, "Oh, good show!"
Mm. I'm gonna like put my shit back on my bag and run, I guess, forward. I'm like, this sucks. This magic spell sucks.
And so as you feel your little elephant wings begin to flap and pull you off again,
It's even worse. It's even worse now.
kind of twists into darkness. And Kaylee, it's been some amount of time later, but you don't even know if it's day or night or how long it's been. The only thing that you know is the aching pain of hunger in your stomach that just grips the very core of you. And it's like that, you know, when you get so hungry and then you feel nauseous, and it's just like, ugh, the most uncomfortable experience. And then as this kind of pain is consuming you, you feel suddenly the touch of something warm and soft. It's the first being you felt in God knows how long. And I want you to make another wisdom saving throw.
10.
And so you reach out and grab this creature, and you feel the writhing, warm body of a rat in your hands, and you chomp into it, and you feel the blood and the bones crack in your mouth. But oh my god, does it sate the hunger? And you take 12 psychic damage.
Okay.
Cool. Repressed memories, you know, whatever.
It's fine. I'm fine. Kaylee's fine.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the darkness, you see this kind of smoke rise up from it, and you see it shifts into this just mire of decay and death. And you see that at your feet stand 3 small imps. And they kneel before you, and they look up with their big bug eyes, and they go, "Will you spare us? We will serve you for eternity if you spare us." What do you say to them?
I want to make some kind of freaking check, because like, what the hell? Like, why? What might be going on? Is this some kind of weird psychic trap? Yeah. Because if I think it is, also, I do have a reaction if I'm forced to take psychic damage again.
Okay.
So just in mind. So Melody is like going through mental clockwork here. Maybe so an insight? Arcana? What did we...
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I would say Arcana.
Okay. Okay, that will be a 19.
So you think that being trapped in Lulu's brain, that this was a choice that Lulu or someone close to her was forced to make, and so depending on what you might give as an answer, might give different information.
No, I'm a holy elephant. Leave me alone.
As you kind of say this in this like kind of matter-of-fact tone. you see that they just sort of fade into nothingness and kind of
God.
just drift into ash at your feet. Kaylee.
I wish all imps were so easy to get rid of.
You're like, nope.
Nope.
Kaylee, you find yourself strapped with heavy hot iron chains to this black rock, which you feel smoldering at the temperature that is just past the point of uncomfortable, as you see that you are in this huge ritual chamber with jets of fire that flare up as the sort of lead cleric, who has these big white icy horns atop their head, who have these very kind of goat-like legs and are holding this great tome, or shouting in these dark infernal chantings. And I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
Sure. That is a 14.
And so how is it that Kaylee finds the strength to break out of these chains? What does this look like as she takes hold?
I think that she's trying to keep her mind in the fact that, okay, this has happened, this isn't happening right now, and she just kind of sets her brain elsewhere at the new friends that she's made in this group of people, and she just kind of puts herself in this like meditative headspace that she's practiced over the years to channel that into something physical. And her astral arms come out and they rip the chains off of her, and they appear kind of, instead of shadowy with these good thoughts in mind, they look like they're kind of fading into a lighter hue, and kind of radiating some sort of light, and she's able to break free.
Very cool. M, you find yourself tromping through a barren landscape, and as you look down, you see that your feet are covered in this thick, dark, black sludge that's beginning to rise and creep and reach its way up your body, as you feel this overwhelming despair and sorrow kind of wash over you. And you hear Bad Maggie say, "Don't let the sludge consume you. You need to be strong for Lulu. You need to fly out of this." And I will need you to roll either strength, athletics, or an acrobatics check to escape.
Okay. Let's see. Well, that's not great. Okay. Can I use my inspiration?
Yes.
Finally. Because that was a 1. So let's. Yay! Okay, so 16. So for acrobatics plus 3, so 19. Worth it.
Definitely. You just succeed. How do you pull yourself out of the situation and escape?
I get mad. I get really mad. I'm very frustrated that this is happening and that I'm in this position where I have to protect this thing, or like be made to feel like I did something wrong and like this elephant needs protecting. And I'm like, like she agreed to this and this is stupid and all of this is stupid. Mad Maggie's spell is broken and terrible. And you know what? I'm going to get through this just to give a big fuck you to everyone else. And I'm like throwing the sludge off of my body, and I look at it and I think it like evaporates as like my ire just bursts through whatever conjuration this is.
Brilliant.
I got no fucking time for this.
Angry wizard.
And Kaylee.
Yes.
Through this dark chanting infernal that you hear just outside of your cell door, you suddenly hear this kind of hooey echo through the hallways just outside of your cell. And you hear suddenly now as the door slides and clings open, you see this ragtag group of adventurers bust in as they are just slaying cultists left and right and like burning the place down and shooting off magic missiles. And one of them, you see like this half elven individual kind of scrooch down really low on the floor and kind of outreach a hand to you and says, "Are you okay? What would you like to do?"
I think this Kaylee kind of backs up a little bit and looks at this lady with extreme reproach and just just no trust. And just stares at her kind of like a wild animal when something gets too close, but it's too late to run.
Yeah, and it's gonna like back and scurry up into the corner, and she holds up her hand. She's like, "No, no, it's okay. We're here to save you. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you out of this terrible place."
She just
Oh, and she like reaches in her hand. She grabs like a pack of like beef jerky and is like, "Here."
Kaylee will reach out and try to grab the jerky. Just so hungry. Yeah.
And you see she motions another one over, and you see this like big hulking human man comes in. He's like, "We don't have time. Let's tie her up," and just immediately grabs you. And you like you try to fight him.
She's still got jerky. No, she's eating. But yeah, just like once that jerky is gone, she's just gonna kind of like kick and flail and try to make her own run for it.
Yeah, and as you're just like kicking and flailing, and they all kind of team up and they get rope out and they tie you, rope you to a board, and the big human man just kind of carries you on this plank on his shoulder. And you find yourself resting on a cushion amidst a starry void, and just maybe close, maybe nearby, some imperceptible distance, you see a golden telescope floating just nearby.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna sort of look around and like, I'm just on a cushion and there's just void around me?
And it's just space.
Neat. Does the telescope look like I could manipulate it with a mage hand?
Yeah, as you do so, you kind of move the spyglass portion around and it spins and swivels. And
can I pull it towards me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that. I will not get off this cushion. And
okay.
This is the first nice thing I've experienced here, this cushion. My butt is not leaving this cushion. And I will, pull the spyglass over to me and then, like, look at it. I want to examine it, like, in case it has any, like, explosive runes or whatever on it.
Yeah. Just looks like a golden spyglass resting on a stand.
I saw it and I look around and there's nothing there. And I'm like, okay. I like bend it. I'll look through it.
And as you look through it, you see this silver citadel that is being covered by what could only be described as a healing scab, as this kind of fleshy, nasty, like, skin is growing over it and encompassing it.
Neat.
and you
yeah.
and you hear Mad Maggie say, "The Bleeding Citadel. You have seen it, child. That must be where the sword of Zariel is kept."
Okay. I'm gonna like look at the location, and I want to note any kind of landmarks, like area, terrain. I want to commit it with only a wizard's precision to my memory, every single detail about this place, and hopes
Definitely.
it will help me find it later.
Make it. Let's make an intelligence check.
16.
You see that one of the closest landmark next to it is this dark tower that looms on the horizon with these 5 black spires that like reach and claw its way into the sky, and circling around these black spires is a great white dragon that has been stained with soot and ash.
Ash dragon. Cool.
Girl, you need some lotion.
Oh my god. And I guess I'll like say to Maggie, maybe, I'm like, can I take this? Can I just take this? I'm gonna like.
No, dear. It's in your mind.
Okay.
I mean, so I guess in that way, it's always with you.
Okay, well, can I go now?
Yes.
Where's Kaylee?
And for Kaylee, you have been on the road with this group of ragtag adventurers. You know, there's the elven woman, the half elven woman who initially greeted you. This big hulking human blonde man. This very stout kind of dwarf with twigs and leaves in their hair, and they bring you back to your home. You see them knock on the door of your parents' house, and opening the door, you see your family. What do Kaylee's parents look like? You're muted.
Her mom is just the spitting image of her, but with wrinkles, like the big blonde curly hair, these big periwinkle eyes, tan skin, freckles, and just like dressed in a pretty nice quality frock, I would say. And her father is just kind of like a sun-kissed man with more of a dirty blonde hair than she has, and he just like looks like exactly what you imagine when you imagine the perfect little halfling happy family. Just very open mannerisms, and he's dressed in like farmhand clothing as he's like tending their vineyard on a daily basis.
And their eyes like grow even wider, and you see them visibly well up with tears, and they go, "Kaylee!" And they immediately rush to try and hug you, but they kind of run up and realize you're in chains and bound, and they're like, "What happened?" And then this vision kind of fades and drifts off, and both of you awake sitting in this circle again, and Lulu yawns and bats her eyes open.
Okay. Lulu, are you all right? Are you fine?
I mean, that was pretty scary, but I'm okay.
Great. Kaylee, what did you see? I didn't see you at all.
Kaylee's just kind of laying there with her hands over her face, and she just doesn't respond for a second before she pulls them away, and her eyes are like really big and kind of darting all over the place, and you can see like where her hands drag down, like there's like just a whole bunch of tears, and her mouth is just set like totally teeth gritted.
I was terrified you were going to say scratches. And I was like, oh, fuck.
I fucked you guys up enough last
Yeah.
time. See. And she's like, I didn't see where the sword is or anything.
Oh. Okay, well, I think I know where the sword is. I saw the citadel. I think I know something that's close to it, but Maggie, what did you get out of all of this? What were you looking for?
Oh, you see, I'm a little bit of a fangirl of Zariel. You know, I like to collect memorabilia, and she kind of opens, like she pulls a lever on a chest of drawers, and you see popping open and like expanding are these doors, and you see that there's like pictures of Zariel, articles of her, like of little vial that says Zariel's nail clippings, like a lock of her hair, like a really kind of disturbing display.
Sure. Oh, so you're interested in the sword?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't want to carry around such an artifact. No, 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 no. It definitely draw way too much attention.
Mm.
But that's why I wanted to look into Lulu's memories, because you know I always am looking for more memories or things to collect of hers.
I see. Well, seems like we all got what we wanted.
Yes, and you all have been such a great help around camp. Mickey here is so much happier. He's been so down in the dumps lately, and now he's just bright as rain. It's good to see him smiling again. And you've been helping, as she motions to Calvin, and you've been helping Chaka and Clank, which is a great benefit. You know, you all are just stand-up adventurers. I hope you go far.
Great. Well, we do still need a way to get where we're going. So, since we've been so helpful, could you perhaps lend us one of these amazing devices?
Oh, of course, have your pick, and I'll even throw in something a little bit extra. And she reaches into her tattered kind of shawl, and she pulls out a couple of flasks that have this kind of black ichor inside of them. These will help you get there faster.
I get to keep one?
Oh,
Yes!
yes, of course. These are, scrap. We'll find more. Don't worry. But, as a thank you.
Great. Well,
Promise to take great care of it.
are you muted, Paul, on your microphone? No. Oh, okay. Your sound's just very
It
far
can't
away.
be. We're just hearing him more through Sage's than his own. Because his
Oh.
thing's lighting up on Zoom.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Oh, now I can hear you better.
Yeah, okay.
There it is. Okay. So, Calvin, why don't you take a look at that? It will be out of your hair in no time, Maggie. We have just loved every minute of being here, but I'm sure you understand we're also big fans and have a lot of searching to do.
Yes, of course. Ooh, something I would recommend. You have seen the Bleeding Citadel, which is good, but of course, traveling Avernus is dangerous and very strange for you kind, because we don't have distance the way you think about it. So, if you would like a guide, there is one of Zariel's soldiers. Who was her favorite and most cherished general, Olanthius. He tried to do the right thing and resist her, but she always gets you in the end. but he would be able to guide you there without any difficulty. Having a guide in Avernus is very important.
Do you happen to know where this Olanthius is?
Oh, the Crypt of the Hell Riders. He can usually be found. I believe it's got a password to get in. I'm afraid I don't know it though.
Crypt of the Hell Riders. Does that refer to something specific or just a cool name?
Oh, you know the Hell Riders. They rode in with Zariel. You know, the warriors.
Right. Okay.
When Zariel became a fallen angel, it was her descent into Avernus, if you will.
Winking.
She said the words.
Fourth wall.
That's the name of the thing.
Well, okay. If it's so hard to get around Avernus, how are we supposed to find the crypt?
Oh, you've got a map, don't you?
Okay. Yeah, of course. No, that's
Oh
great.
shit! It's written here. Oh.
Oh wow. Wonderful. Just another quick question. Crypt. So is this guy undead or?
Oh yes.
Hmm.
She turned him into an undead to forever protect the crypt and to do her bidding.
Okay. Any ideas about why he would want to help us? You know, he likes red velvet cupcakes, or looking for a soulmate, or anything, any leads.
More of a devil's food cake, but and she laughs at herself. Well, he was the one person who tried to resist her, to do the right thing, to fell her when he had seen what she had become. And so I think that there is still a part of him that yearns for that.
All right. Well, any other questions? I'm gonna look around at the group.
Roland has Lulu tucked under one arm like a football and is sitting next to Kaylee, like rubbing his hand on her back while she collects herself.
No, I don't have any questions for our generous host.
Great. Well, Calvin, why don't you pick a horse?
I'm not picking horses, Mal. Come on. Come
Okay.
on.
You know what?
You're the smart wizard, right?
I'm tired. I'm going to sit over here.
I
While
think
you
I want
do-
this
Flynn
one.
has picked up bad habits in hell.
And so you see that there is one very large, almost like an infernal dump truck, with a big clasping iron maw on the front of it, and on the side you see that there are two large harpoons. And at the back, you see the kind of furnace where you had seen the coins, and also a tank of water hooked up to sort of like a gun.
Dibs.
The bubble pipe car.
Super soaker. I mean, to you it just looks like dirty water, but
Okay. Cool. Is that are there choices, or is that the one?
so there's that one, and then there is one that's slightly smaller. Looks like it's probably a little bit faster. At the back there is a crane with a claw at the end of it. It looked like it could pick up and carry things. And at the front there is a flamethrower. And sort of in the middle, you see this wax torso of a human with these iron pikes jutting out of it.
That's got style points for sure. Are they both big enough for everybody to like fit in comfortably?
Yeah, they both would seat about 8 people.
Oh, okay.
Between holding on to the sides and getting in seats.
Okay. Well,
Super soaker.
yeah. That's the one that also
Erroneous
has a
is already
giant
in it.
mouth on the.
Pressing buttons.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, let's go with that one. That was also the one that had the big like mouth on the front, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Are you
Good choice, Erroneous.
just? Are you? What?
Let's ride.
Okay.
Come
I mean,
on,
they
get
look,
in. It's
Time
gonna
to
be great.
go.
They look like they're gonna fall. Okay. You know what? Whatever. I look for the smallest, most out of the way, deepest compartment where I don't have to see anything and I can just huddle miserably.
Don't
Yeah,
worry. The only parts that are gonna fall off are the parts that are supposed to fall off.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, it'll be fine.
I'm so miserable. I'm studying my
Yes.
spell book.
And yeah, this is the one that you helped build the gear for to put into the engine, so you know it is running smoothly now, and you can one of the Kenku gives you a keychain. What is the key in the keychain look to this vehicle?
Oh my God.
The key itself is this heavy, like wrought iron skeleton key, except instead of having the parts that normally just stick off like perpendicular to the body of the key, they're jabbed out in all kinds of different spiky, like pointy directions. And then the keychain, it's not original, but it's just so good. It says Truckosaurus in big, like demonic letters.
Infernal.
It's one of those huge ones like you have at a truck stop bathroom, so you don't lose it.
Yeah, and it's in this sort of like metal band like font where all of the letters are too pointy and you can barely tell what it says until somebody tells you what it
Nice.
says.
Yeah.
The keychain's 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes. It counts as a flail.
One corner of it has a little hook to open bottles.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. It counts as a small club. Excellent. So you can start this bad boy up and all get seated. Who's driving this thing?
Hero.
We had
Oh,
better
I'm
not
a-
get onto this thing and leave without my fucking shoes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you better get those shoes.
I was
You
about to
earned
be
those
like,
shoes.
I was about to be like, Kaylin, you not have something to pick up.
Literally gave her 2 front teeth for those shoes.
It was my molars.
Back teeth.
Still got the winning smile. Yeah, definitely before we get in, like Kaylee just kind of like notices her surroundings and will really quickly scuffle off to get her shoes before we leave this place.
Yeah, as you run over to the cobbler and he goes, "Oh, just in time. Just finished him." And he passes you a pair of leather boots.
Are
And
they the rose leather that I requested? The
They
pink?
absolutely are.
Awesome.
And they fit disturbingly well.
Wow.
Yeah, she just kind of like grabs them and like like puts them on and feels them around, and she's like, "Thank you," and just like scuttles off to go back and seats herself like in the back, not right next to Malady, because she knows that homie likes her space. But she just plops down and just like sits there kind of picking at the skin around her fingernails. Now we're ready.
Very nice. And you all can set off. As you drive out of these gates of Fort Knucklebone, as you are huddled in the back, squished in some seat, you hear a familiar voice.
Oh.
You know. You hear the voice from your shield
Mm-hmm.
sort of whisper in your mind. You know, if you let me out of here, I could lead you straight to the Bleeding Citadel.
I don't know how to let you out.
I know you are lying. I know you performed your little spell to figure out what's going on here.
Well, the thing is, I'm kind of holding all the cards right now, and I may need you for something else. So, you've sat tight this long. I think a little bit longer might be in everyone's best interest.
What is it that you seek to do with me?
Well, I have a devil that needs killing, so if I find her, well, that seems like a pretty good opportunity to let you out.
But what's to stop me from killing you after you let me out if I get nothing in return?
Well, that's for me to figure out, right?
Good question. It's a good question.
Ah.
That's a fair question.
I mean, I could ask the same thing now. If I let you out now, what's to stop you from killing me right now? It's all the same conundrum we find ourselves in.
I suppose that is true. But if you let me out, I promise I will take you and your companions to the Bleeding Citadel, and I will not harm you or your friends if you help me kill Zariel in return. You see, I'm not fond of her management style. But I think it's time for a new face.
Interesting.
Let's make a deal.
You know, it's very interesting what you've brought up. Absolutely. I do have to give it a great deal of consideration and thought. So let's rain check this conversation. Let's just table this for now. But I'll think about it.
I am a patient man. And you feel that kind of exit out of your mind.
I think I involuntarily let out like a because it doesn't make Melody comfortable to be carrying around she hates devils. She hates them a lot, and the fact that one is in her brain, but also at the end of the day, you know, she doesn't really care so much about the Zariel thing, so that's where
Fair.
she's at. She got other goals.
Right, so
Kaylee, Melody's just going next to you on the little seat.
It's kind of like the feeling of like when you walk through a cobweb and you just no
yeah,
matter
you're
how
like,
much,
oh, God. Or it's like you
it's
see
still there.
You see one ant in your house, and then for the rest of the time, you're like, oh my God, yeah, so itchy. Like are they there? They're on me.
Yeah, Kaylee just looks up from like her almost bleeding like raw fingers, and she's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. What? Stop that. That's gross. I have to like smack your hand.
She puts him under her butt, and she's just like, "Sorry."
What's wrong with you?
I kind of wish that I had been with you for the green juice trip, because I had kind of a nightmare experience. So I'm a little I'm gathering myself back from that, but it's okay because you're all here and we're all helping each other. So I just need some rest. The, you know, compartmentalize. You know how it is.
I think Melody's looking and listening, and she's just like, I don't know what to do. When I'm upset, I guess I try to distract myself. Maybe do you like books?
Do you have a good one?
I think I make a frowny face, and then I think about it, and then I'm like, and I reach in my bag, and I like hand over a well-loved paperback to you.
What is it?
I think it's probably like the worst like action adventure romance novel cover you've ever seen. Like very bad, and it's like really rumpled. Like I've read it a lot of times. It's
Kaylee.
Starlight.
Yeah. It's something that helps when you learn magic. It works with anything. You don't even really have to like read it or like actually understand what's happening, but you just the process and words are and she's like, maybe this was stupid, and she goes and like starts to put it back in her bag.
No, I'll take it. And she just like reaches out her small little arms, and she smiles at you, and like, while her eyes don't really look happy, instead of being completely blank, there is like some sort of like flicker of emotion. And she just kind of like takes it and like stares at the cover for like 30 long seconds and then opens the first page.
Okay. And I'm gonna just wrap myself in my cloak and be like, okay, this is done now, and I'll go back to ignoring you.
And then just when you're like into your little zone, she just kind of whispers, "Thanks, Em." And just keeps reading.
Whatever.
I hope this book's good.
It's trash. It's trashy. I mean, it's fun, but trashy.
So friends, where are we headed?
I have a question before we leave this place, because I don't know if I'm going to have another opportunity, or Calvin is going to have another opportunity. Is there a motorcycle with a sidecar? By any chance, an infernal motorcycle with a sidecar that I could put Appa in?
Oh,
I just gotta check.
What does it look like?
Oh, hell yeah. It's got the really long extended fork on the front, almost like a recumbent bicycle where you're like leaning all the way back, but not quite that extreme. And it's got like, it's the same like blackened wrought iron that the key for Truckosaurus is made out of. That's what like the fork is, and a lot of the frame of the bike. But then it has these flat plates for like the body of it that are this rusted reddish color. And there's way too many skulls all over the place on
it. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is what you find.
Yeah. So Calvin's gonna look around for the key to that. Hey, are you using this one too?
And Mad Maggie kind of turns around. You take it.
Yeah. Appa, get in.
And as you all hop in, this seems like a good time to start our giveaway!
Giveaway! Okay, tell the people the word while I find the thing.
For these beautiful green dice, the word is Hellrider.
The giveaway is open. Type !Hellrider into the chat to be entered to win this gorgeous set.
Yes. And then we will select our winner at the end.
Yes, so stick around, and make sure you respond in chat too when I'm like, "Hey, who won?"
I would also like to say, for safety purposes, despite being 14 days quarantined myself, it is not this exact set that I've kept close to my face. It's a set that's in a box 10 feet from me. So don't worry about that. I've had it in a package for several days. I keep them stored around in case I need to send something off.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. And so you're all tucked in, ready to go. Who's driving the big demon grinder?
Oh man. I mean, if Calvin
Erroneous.
Only if that's connected to the big gun.
It is.
If that's where you control the big gun, then yeah, I'm driving.
You can drive. I don't.
Did you tell me what landmark to head for?
So Melody, I guess, will sort of like crawl forward and like open the map and like point at where we're going. So the Crypt of the Hell Riders sounds neat.
All right, sure thing. Get you there in a jiff. Everyone, please take your seats. Seatbelts are optional. I don't care if you wear them or not, but please keep your hands and feet inside the cabin at all times, okay? All right. What is this thing called again?
Truckosaurus.
Truckosaurus, away!
Oh God, I wear my seatbelt. Is there a seatbelt?
There are no seatbelts.
No, I make one out of rope. I lash myself to this car.
Beautiful. Yes. So there are, let's see, 4 stations here. So there's the driver's seat, which has at the floor of your is like this big 30-gallon tank that you see that's filled with this dirty water with the controls for the pump. One on each side there are harpoons, and at the back there is a large wrecking ball that has a seat where you can like manage that. So where's everyone else sitting? And there's also like a seat next to the driver.
Haley's still in the back just reading this trash novel. Seeming to get very absorbed into it at this point. Like at first it was just kind of like flip, and now like she's bouncing all over the place, but she just like lays on her back and like
Seeing that Malady and Kaylee have went through all this emotional turmoil for the day, Roland would be like,
No, please, just sit here. Collect yourselves. It's fine. You've done enough. I'll take the giant fucking wrecking ball thing. It's fine.
And then he like squeezes into a little spot with his huge barrel belly and chest, and lets out a breath, and you hear it kind of against him and his armor.
Right.
He kind of swings it a bit to test it out and says,
I don't like it, but I'm here.
He slams his hand like on the side of it for Heronius to go.
I mean, if there's like seats further away from people, like the harpoon seats or whatever, I'll get in one of those. If it's like just removed from squishing up against people.
Yeah, there's just like the little like four car seats where you're all kind of stuffed in this like little cabin, which gives you, it's nice, it gives you like 3/4 cover, but yeah, then on the side there, a little bit removed, kind of almost hanging off, are these 2 seats that control these harpoons.
I like fight with my terror and my terror of sitting next to people, and I'll crawl into the harpoon seat.
Is everybody else manning weapons except for Kaylee?
That's fine. You are a weapon.
You are a weapon.
That's true.
My body is a weapon.
Just throw me at something if anything goes wrong.
And Calvin, you are on the motorcycle
Yes.
with the sidecar.
And I've made little goggles to put on Appa, and he sits in the sidecar. And we have matching scarves too.
Wow.
Uh,
What color are
Wow.
they?
Well, they were white, but they're probably like funky yellowish brown now from the toenail wind and
Phlegm
everything else.
color.
Yeah.
But opens
Mm.
his mouth and a geese honk comes out.
Honk.
Is this like the start of a new day? Are we about to do like a full day of travel and shit or what?
Yeah.
So we should
Okay.
Pretty
do a
much.
rest. Can we do a rest
Yes.
for some of us wizards who had to spend spells and nightmare planes?
Definitely. Yeah. Maggie offers you some space so you all can
Neat.
get a night's in.
All right, here we go.
So after this rest, once everyone's kind of loaded up in the machine, Roland will shuffle over to Malady
Mm.
and say,
Melody, pardon me for a moment.
and he'll boop, just like hit you, lightly slap your shoulder.
I like recoil like it was a big deal, and then kind of like look over at you and what?
That was it. Be blessed.
And he'll get into his little seat. He casts Death Ward on you.
What? I'm like,
Not dying today, at least.
okay. I look at you suspiciously, and then I get into my seat and close the thing, and I'm still like staring at you. I'm kind of hunched down like around my cloak, but out of the little glass dome you can see my little black eyes like watching you. Hate it.
Hero didn't really need to rest, so he was just sitting in the driver's seat making like little boy gun noises the whole time, like having a fucking blast.
I love him.
Brilliant. So yes, you all can spend some time getting a sleep in, recharging what you can. Now that you've had a rest, Calvin and Roland, your level of exhaustion falls off as you become
That's
accustomed
nice.
to the horror that is this place.
That's nice. Yeah.
Naps help everything.
Yeah, catch up. Get on our level with the horror.
Yeah, get desensitized to hell.
It's all right. I've got a robot dog with goggles that's gonna ride in a sidecar next to me on a motorcycle. Everything
Everything's
is wonderful.
better.
Everything is awesome.
That could have been the tagline to this whole podcast: "Get desensitized to hell."
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's go to the Hell Rider tomb, Crypt of the Hell Riders. Woo! That sounds great.
And so as you all prepare the next day and get your stuff together and pack the car, ready to go on your fun road trip.
So fun.
So fun. Yeah, you start the car and you all start to putt outside of Fort Knucklebone. And you see in the distance there is this kind of acrid smog that swirls around this barren hill, and rising from it like giant tombstones are these two monoliths that sort of lean into each other. And Mad Maggie, as she kind of waves you all off, will point off, that's the crypt.
Neat. Well, thank you
Got it.
again, Maggie, for all of your help. You have been lovely. Thank you.
Well, it's nice to meet strangers who don't try to immediately kill you, so I like to do what I can for the people who find themselves down here.
That's refreshing, and probably the last kindness we'll get here, so thank you. Well, I'll remember it fondly.
Well, feel free to drop by. And her and Mickey, they'll wave at you as you all can set off.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel
he-
bad.
He coos kind of at you all.
Oh,
I
boy.
picture this fucking machine as being an 18-wheeler with no muffler, just
So
It
loud.
blows up this dust cloud of fingernail clippings behind you.
Ugh, God.
Mm-mm.
You know, I thought I was like, we're gonna get in this thing, and then the helmet's not gonna be visible, and then we're gonna be less, in your face, and then we got the loudest vehicle in all of this plane. So pretty good.
oh, the helmet's unwrapped while we're in this war machine, gleaming brightly like in every direction, barely even snuffed out by the clouds of vaporous debris that go by.
Kaylee is just like sitting kind of right behind you so that your light hits her book. She can have a little reading light on the journey.
Yeah, there you go. It's like having your little lamp on your black and white Nintendo.
And it just reflects back on the screen. The worm light, they were the worst.
And for Heronius and Calvin, since you are both driving vehicles, next to your controls for, of course, there's like the brake and the gas and everything, steering wheel. But additionally, you see a slot where it looks, so Calvin would know immediately off the bat that that's the size of a soul coin. And next to that slot is a funnel that leads into one of the pipes that goes towards the engine. Maybe that's for something.
Super turbo?
Yeah.
Oh, the
that's
flasks.
where the nitrous goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do we get nitrous? Oh, she gave us some
Yeah.
He
jars
gave
of something.
you 3 flasks
Yeah.
of demon ichor.
Demon ichor. I like the sound of that.
But do we have any soul coins?
There are 10 in the back of the demon grinder.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Each soul coin has 3 charges if you haven't spent any charges to do anything else. 1 charge will run a war machine for 24 hours, 2 charges for 48, and 3 charges for 72. But once used, that soul can never escape hell and is trapped there for all eternity as it becomes disintegrated.
So
Luckily, there's moral ambiguity in not knowing if they're evil or good souls. So,
I mean, they got into hell anyway.
Additionally, for soul coins, you can spend a charge to ask the soul that's trapped inside a question, which it may or may not answer in a useful way.
So, team, do we believe that we should ask the souls,
I'm shaking my head.
if they're good or not? Or
I
just use
don't-
them sparingly?
If we don't have to use those, we shouldn't. That's I
Yeah, I mean, it's just there. We know it's there in case of emergency if we really gotta scuttle away from something. But we're fine for now. The thing runs, right?
I believe we have to use a coin to operate it after this.
Oh.
Doot doot.
We put the coin in yesterday. I don't know how many charges were left in it, but yeah.
We have like a bag. Shake it up so that it's nice and random and be like,
All right, may fate guide you.
Malady like dry heaves and then walks away. She can't be part of that. Too close to home.
Well, this is the fastest way to get to what we're trying to do here and get the hell out. We gotta do it. And then maybe there'll be some left over. We'll help them out or something to make up for the souls lost.
Is there a way to release the souls once they're already in the coins?
You can. You can physically harm them. and dwindle their hit points down until you break them and release the soul. Or you can use magic.
Okay. You.
I climb back up in my gunner thing and pretend nothing is happening.
Alvin's already outside the gate doing like burnout donuts with the motorcycle, and yelling at Appa, who's still honking like a goose. And they're just having a obliviously great time. He's ignoring that part.
All right, well, I'll just take the hard choice away from everyone and I'll make it for us. And you can sit back and take it easy, I guess. I'll put a soul coin in and use a charge.
You hear a very satisfying as it deposits, and you hear the engines roar even ever more to life, and the car juts forward. So casting a spell that removes a curse is one way to free a soul from a soul coin.
So I'll be up there next to Heronius when he plops the coin in, and I'll say,
We can use each one twice and free the soul. It should still give us more than enough charges, right?
That's what I'm hoping. I don't see why I gotta go wasting a bunch at once. I'm gonna try and use it sparingly, but we gotta do something. That's why we're here.
Of course. It is a currency in this cursed place. When they get down to their last charge, pass them to me and I'll deal with them.
You got it, brother.
All right.
I figured out how to do wheelies.
You're gonna eat my dust.
Boys!
Yeah.
Oh, stupendous. All right, so for my drivers, Heronius and Calvin, roll me a set of you all have a map, so that is fortunate for you. Each of you roll me a set of D4s and tell me if you roll doubles.
So 2d4.
2D4s.
Okay.
I did roll doubles. 2 4s.
That's probably a bad thing.
I'm excited about it.
I did not roll doubles. I rolled a 2 and a 3.
So, Calvin, you managed to stay the course. You're driving along, but at some point, time is so weird in this place because there is no sun, but the lighting never changes. And so suddenly, as you look over your shoulder and you notice suddenly the demon grinder is gone. You don't see sight of your friends.
Oh, fuck.
You're
made
headed
this bed and I lie in it.
You're headed right. You're almost towards the crypt of the Hell Riders.
Ooh.
Heronius, you think that maybe when Calvin had gone over a hill that you didn't quite hit, suddenly you're in a place that is very different. Now greeting you just probably not more than 100 yards away is this dark tower that looms on this island that is composed of feet that is ringed in a lake of boiling blood.
I'm sorry, Feet Island?
Feet?
Feet?
They're all left feet.
Left
too.
Foot Island?
Ooh, it's an unlucky island.
That's an unlucky ass island. Yeah, it's feet. It's a pile of feet. It's unlucky.
Left feet, okay?
Why?
The two of you are screaming.
Yeah.
this morning.
God, is it the Dark Tower from my vision?
No, it is a different tower.
Ah, fuck.
Different dark tower.
Hell has a lot of dark towers. Okay.
There's many towers. The real estate agents, they're just the developers.
Love towers.
Tower after tower.
Can't get enough. God.
They're as common as beige houses.
Heronius! I don't think we're going the right way.
I'm sorry, there's so much damn fingernail dust in the air, I can't tell where I'm going half the time. Where do I turn? What is this tower? Are those feet?
You just have the giant like wheel in front of you.
Why don't you just go back the way we came and
Okay.
start over?
He starts like full body trying to turn this wheel the other way around.
And you could like, and you kick up this huge cloud of dust behind you.
I'm also looking at the map to be like, Feet Island? Is that on here? Like, I'm looking.
Judging, as you're looking at the map and having this tower so close to you, there's a voice that you hear that actually begins to speak to you from the map. And it
Fuck.
says, "Ah, the Tower of A tower tumbles between planes on the whims of a mad mage. Where it goes next, nobody knows."
Hello? I'm looking at the map. I'm like, what? Did I see like a what? Do I recognize this voice?
No.
Can I make an Arcana check on why my map is talking to me? Have I finally lost
Sure.
it?
Quite possible.
Oh God. Okay, that's a 17.
You're like, whoa. Okay, magic maps, they're a thing.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is the voice of the map maker?
Oh, Mad Mage. Do I think? Because the guy went crazy who made this map, right? So maybe this is him, Mad Mage map. I don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna spin it around and try and like point in the direction for Heronius to go.
Calvin, what are you doing as suddenly you probably about a mile off, you see these leaning monoliths with your friends nowhere in sight. What do you do?
He's gonna, he'll get to the crest of one of these dunes of nails, and turn sideways and slide to a stop, and kind of pull up his goggles and look around, and just kind of wait to see if he can catch sight or like hear something. The little door will spring open in Appa's back, and the Robo-Bee will take off and fly up into the air. See if maybe I can catch sight of him from up there.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I'm not good at that. Damn. That's a 9.
Between the writhing lakes of blubbery masses and the chasms with screaming green jelly, you do not see them anywhere.
Okay.
Screaming Jelly and Feet Island.
This is a great spot.
It's really good. It's really nice this time of year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just
seriously.
the shores of the chasm overlooking the jelly are just magnificent.
Just breathtaking, truly.
Yeah, I think that's what Calvin will just stand up there and soak in some of that grandeur for a bit.
And Heronius, as you start to wheel back around and trying to make your way into maybe towards the last landmark you had seen before Calvin had sort of disappeared, make a survival check.
Survival is 10.
So you just keep driving and you're like, oh, there are so many towers. Oh my god, did we pass that forest of iron trees already?
Why is everyone hiring the same damn architect to design this whole friggin' place? I can't tell where I am or where I'm going.
Oh my God. And Malady is not helping because she's yelling, like panic backseat driving, yelling.
Kaylee
at you.
looks up from her book and she looks at M and she's like, I'll help. Matt, please.
I've been trying to tell him where to go, and he's just not listening. If you just gotta go back
No,
this
I'm
way.
really, really good at this. I'm good with maps.
I
me
do
help.
not want to hand over the map, but I don't know. Whatever.
I'm just whirling
Ugh.
this wrecking ball around the machine, like constantly swinging it so the whole machine's moving.
Can I try to make like a survival check or something to help with the directions?
Yeah.
God
Okay.
damn it.
Okay, that's a 21. I'm good at those.
So you're like, okay, Middle Tree Forest, weird spooky tower, and then you see, and then you're like, oh, okay, Crypt of the Hell Riders. You're like, and you're able to sort of like give directions to Heronius. And suddenly, Calvin, you see now this cloud of dust as you now see your friends as they are kind of riding up on this hill underneath you, and you all see Calvin and Appa perched on top of this dune.
Kaylee kind of like hugs Heronius for like a really long time from behind, and she's like, I knew you could do it. You're so great.
Oh man, I was lost there without you. Thank you so much for
I
being
was
so calm and
Telling
understanding.
you to
and
go
helping-
this way, and you
guiding
just
me in
weren't
such a nice,
listening to me.
calm mannered
just
way.
weren't
You
listening.
really
Oh,
help calm my
anytime.
nerves in a frightening
know.
time, and you just really understand how to teach through
I'm here
positivity.
for
I
you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank
Listen, I'm your girl.
Thank you. Thank you. Kaylee.
I go Waldo, and then a big ol' stinky fart lets off just right in your face. Else Waldo sits on your steering wheel and just lets it rip.
Yeah, this
What? Roland's all the way in the back trying to hear.
It smells like brimstone. It's nasty.
Oh, that smells so different from
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah,
But it's
like,
in your face.
It's especially strong here.
Kaylee's gonna like stay up by the driver's seat, and she's now navigator. Every road trip has one.
God damn it.
And you all can keep driving towards these two leaning monoliths. And you see connecting them is this large set of onyx steps that lead down this hill. And so at the top of the steps are these two monoliths, and there is a huge, just completely flat, blank set of onyx doors that have been sealed tight.
Not for long.
Wrecking ball? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even ask. I just swing the wrecking
Wait,
ball.
wait. No. Roland,
You
no.
What?
Swing this wrecking ball around.
No.
You swing dude,
Bless
right
you.
into this set of doors.
We're gonna
Uh,
die. We're gonna be
The
killed
doors
by
take
witches.
80 damage.
Oh my god.
And though you hear the satisfying like thung that kind of emanates throughout the sound of stone hitting stone, but still these doors remain unfazed.
I'm like, okay. Are we ready to try some scent now?
He's
heard-
just gotta knock it loose. Try it again.
No, that's
No.
not. No.
I do.
No, there's there's a riddle or something.
I'm-
What's
No,
that?
I'll stop after the first time.
I'm like unstrapping myself from my seatbelt to like run towards the door.
All right,
Get in the
all
way.
right. I won't swing again.
I take my helmet off and knock out a bunch of shit that's just been caked in there from being in the back of this machine.
Yeah, that
And I'm like-
sweat caked dust. That's
Yeah,
lining
I'm like
it.
wiping this crud off of where the little open slot the visor is.
Ah, this
Um,
we're finally fucking here.
As you all pile out of the demon engine, Calvin has pulled the motorcycle up to the side in front of the doors, and he's getting his crowbar out of his backpack, and he and Appa are heading towards the crease in the doors.
Definitely.
I want to look at
And-
these doors for clues.
You can look
Yeah.
at him. That's fine. He's gonna investigate the way he investigates with the crowbar.
And as you all hop out and bring the vehicles to a stop, and the dust settles, and you're left on the top of this hill, and actually for the first time, you notice that lining these onyx steps that crept up this hill are dozens of knights, in this iron suits of armor that are kneeling with their heads resting on their pommels of their swords. And they're all wearing the regalia of El Terrell.
Do they look like they're statues or people?
They look like people, but they are so perfectly still like a statue that
The way that
Sure.
you recounted that, I had difficulty telling if they were full knights or knight heads on pommels. so yeah, no, this is great. Yeah, they're either corpses or statues. That's fine.
Okay. I think I'll keep going towards one of them and like get a safe distance away and go, hello?
you just hear the wind.
We're looking for the tomb. Can you help us?
Nothing.
Orlantheus.
Okay. I want to.
Sage, I'm going to, as Malady's speaking to these forms, I'm going to go ahead and cast Detect Evil and Good on myself. That'll give me 10 minutes concentration where I can pick out magically consecrated ground, undead, fiends, fae, elementals, all that good stuff.
So you see, looking at these knights who are kneeling as if in deep in prayer, they all emanate the sort of goodness and sort of radiance. The crypt itself has this kind of weird mix of radiant and necrotic energy that's kind of that's at odds with itself. But there's nowhere that's consecrated or desecrated though.
Doesn't look like they're undead, but those, Malady, those
I'll point to the kneeling knights.
I'll say there's something divine about them.
I want to walk up to one and like look at it closer.
Yeah, you see it's actually acting as a casket for their bones.
Oh, interesting.
As if they've been interred within these suits of armor.
Oh, they're just really extreme sarcophagi. Okay. Well,
That's how I want to go.
I'll take note of that. Okay. So we have to walk past them and all these steps to get to the doors that we did a smash on?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start hustling up the stairs and look for cluesies about how to open this door.
So you run up these onyx steps, which lead to the set of basalt doors, and on a relief next to the set of doors, you see this engraving of a knight that's locked in combat with a devil, and the knight is wielding these like flaming swords. That's it.
Does this mean anything to you, holy man?
I can roll a religion check.
Yes.
If I think that'll tell me anything.
Absolutely.
24.
Whoa.
I
Hell
was one
yes.
of these guys.
That's Jim Bob. And so knowing that this is called the Crypt of the Hell Riders and seeing the regalia of El Terrell on these fallen knights, and you're like, oh, the Hell Riders, this must be sort of this kind of grim display to the warriors that rode in with Zariel. And you recall that Mad Maggie had said that there was a password, so you probably have to speak something to enter. It's probably something to do with El Terrell. And what comes to mind is when you all were in El Terrell and Feria was clutching the Tome of Creed Resolute to her chest that she was desperately guarding. And there is the last line of the creed, which you had heard in Candlekeep, which you had seen on the front page of the vow of all of the Hell Riders, and that all the citizens of El Terrell have taken the line, all this is my everlasting pledge.
So Roland will kind of slide a gauntleted hand along the embossed kind of stone of this door. And he'll think back to reading that. And he'll ponder for a moment and he'll say,
Do you think that they would say some kind of password in common or celestial?
I don't know. The Hell Riders, they're all over the place, right? So probably common. I can't imagine that they're all going around learning Celestial.
And then I will recount the last pledge in common.
And as you do so, these doors, you hear a sliding as they sort of fall into a recess and then slide open. And before you is a hallway that leads off to the left and to the right.
Calvin was at the center of the doors and was about to like shove the crowbar in there and like almost loses his balance a little bit as he goes to pry in there, and the doors part on their own. Oh, nice job.
Okay, so which way do we go?
Left.
All right.
He shrugs.
Seems good. Let's go left.
And as you head off to the left, it opens into this large burial chamber where, positioned with great reverence and care throughout this hall, you see that there are these engraved noble coats of arms that undoubtedly Roland would recognize as noble families from El Terrell. And you see that there is an array of polished swords and lances and shields that are bearing these various coats of arms on these walls, hanging over these burial urns. And you see there is a passageway that leads off to the left and one that continues forward.
Left.
Left again.
I keep saying left.
As we traipse through this room and start to head to the left, Roland does kind of have this long moment where he's quiet and not walking and just kind of like touching some of these things hanging from the walls, and like he straightens something that's slightly off center, like he's really in thought. And then he wraps it all up very quickly and
Yes, left. Perfect.
and he'll trounce forward.
And this leads into a hallway where there are 4 huge stones of marble that have been etched, each with hundreds of names. And at the top of it, it reads, "Here lie the fallen. May their souls echo here until end of time." And across from these 4 large marble slabs, you see this relief showing a solemn blindfolded angel on the back of a huge mammoth with feathered wings. And you see that the mammoth is reared back on its hind legs, and this angel's holding this blazing sword aloft as they are like over the broken and fallen bodies of knights and devils. And you see Lulu's eyes get really big.
All of us turn and
Turn
look
to
at the
look
camera,
at Lulu.
and then the camera is Lulu's POV.
Yeah, you see, oh, and she's kind of like sitting on the ground, like the way that Eeyore sits with her like legs jutted out, and she's like, "Oh, I forgot I can do that."
You can turn into a giant mammoth thing
A feathered mammoth war rider.
that can fly.
Flying feathered mammoth war rider.
Well, I mean, Zariel, I guess she did it for me because, I was her noble steed.
Zariel has questionable taste. I think it's something we've learned here. Well, so you can't do it. Zariel transformed you.
Yeah, I think she used like a spell
Okay. Could I?
that summoned me.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
I look at M like I don't know any fucking spell that can do that.
Yeah, I'm like, Em is like racing through what she knows, and she's like,
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
Yeah, like how? Okay, Lulu. Okay. Yep, that's a 20. Dirty 20.
So the only thing that you can think of like summon greater steed, I guess.
I didn't see giant celestial mammoth on my options.
CR12
Steeds.
giant celestial war elephant.
Wow, wizards favoritism. But I'm like, but also Malady, I think might know like, but so Zariel is keeping you summoned, or if you die, you're gonna go away, or why
Yeah, so
are you still
definitely-
here?
She's like, I like to think that it's because there's still a little good in Zariel left, and that's why I'm still here. And then if I'm still here, maybe there's still hope to change her back.
Oh boy.
Silence. In the
All
room.
right. No one is beyond redemption, I suppose. Even the Lady of Hell.
And rolling with your detect good and evil, you actually feel this necrotic energy that's emanating from the names on these stone slabs.
I say exactly that.
I feel evil seeping from these slabs of names. We should be wary.
And you see that like Roland's neck tenses up as he looks around, like unsure of what might happen in this room.
As a master of names, I am extremely curious as to what power these names may hold.
Calvin's gonna activate detect magic, so we've
Oh.
got that going as well.
Cool. Yeah, and looking at these slabs, yeah, you immediately see necromancy. Big necromancy.
Can I get a read on like is it containing like necromantic energy in it? Is there something inside of these things that's giving that off? Is it an undead thing that's giving that energy off?
Make an intelligence-based insight check.
Intelligence-based insight check. Fun. I'm gonna use the new feature I got at level 7, which is called Flash of Genius. And he's gonna make some quick alterations to his monocle to get +4 to this roll.
Nice.
So that'll make it a 16, and then add intelligence. It's a dirty 20.
So yeah, looking at this with detect magic, seeing the names, what calls to mind are the dozens of suits of armor containing the bones of warriors outside, and this being a crypt in hell, souls are a big theme. maybe their souls are bound to their names on this tablet, or so they're like those are kind of different thoughts that start floating through your mind.
But there's only 4 tablets, and how many knights were there?
There were dozens outside. There were hundreds of names on these tablets, and you had already passed through a burial chamber where you had seen more of these more burial urns. So
Okay.
you feel like you're maybe missing a piece. That
We-
there's another connection here.
Do we see, if we like read through them, do we see Orlanthus's name anywhere on them?
You do not.
Maybe we should go back and turn right.
Malady can't not do something with these names. Because
I
that's like
assumed that would be the case.
her whole thing. So I call upon my knowledge of naming magic and be like, what is this doing and how can I use it to my advantage? Is what, like, there's all these powerful names here.
Make an Arcana check with advantage.
It's my thing. Names. Okay. 22. Arcana, nice.
So you think if they took the time to carve all of these names, there must be some kind of maybe benefit or either detriment to like finding some way to maybe free the souls associated with these names. Maybe they're trapped here. There's definitely some kind of magic here that is keeping these souls tethered here.
Calvin, do you have a pick or a hammer? Something that could chip stone?
Oh boy, do I. And yeah, opens up his backpack and gets out a big like tool roll and just spreads it out across the floor. And there's various different like sizes of chisels and awls and picks and
okay,
hammers.
You didn't have to show me the workshop, but okay, I've just picked like a medium one because I
No, don't use that one. Use this one.
Fine.
I call this one Scratchy.
Okay, fine.
It's a good one.
Definitely looking at these tablets more seriously. The line at the top that says, "Here lie the fallen, may their souls echo here until the end of time," really rings out to you.
Yeah, I want to hit one of the names. I want to scrape it. I want to scrape it off.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no! Okay, 14 on the die, so 17.
So you manage to duck out of the way as you begin to strike this thing. This lash of necrotic energy slashes out at you, and you will take 18 necrotic damage.
Oh, why? Oh no! Ow!
You succeeded.
What? What happened? 18. Fuck, that's like half my hit points.
Melody!
I'm like, God! I like necrotic, so I think I get thrown backwards, and again, I'm like, oh, like I've been hit with baseball bats. Does anything happen when the name is gone?
So the name is not gone. You just have barely made a scratch into the stone when this had lashed out at you. And you hear this sort of kind of moaning and unsettling air begin to ripple through this crypt. And that's where we're going to end our
I'm sorry, guy. I just had to do it. What? I commit the name to memory. Just in case.
Celeste, be sure to make a note to yourself that you do have Death Ward on you,
Neat. Yes.
so we don't forget it next week
Yes. Death Ward.
or 2 weeks or whatever.
Oh. Yes. Good.
Yes.
Damn.
Well, friends, this has been fun. Now let's figure out who the winner is
yes!
of these fantastic dice.
Okay,
They're
dice.
so pretty.
We're
It's
doing
so
the
hard to show
drawing.
them because it's so shiny.
We're doing the drawing, so I'm going to call a name and make sure you respond in chat so we know you're there. Polling.
Yes.
And our winner is CaraBear_13.
We know you're here.
Yay! Congratulations! So just let us know right now in chat. Yep, speak up. Yay! Thank you so much for sticking around, and congratulations!
Woo!
Yay. That's so exciting.
Yay! Sweet. Perfect. Yes, reach out to us on Twitter so we can get your shipping deets, or on Discord as well, because I know I've seen Cara Bear there as well.
Talk to her every day playing Animal Crossing.
Hell
Yeah. One of our
Turnips.
one of our very active members on our Discord, which is super cool. If y'all haven't joined our Discord, you definitely should. It's a great place to be. 100%. Well, but thank you all, everyone, for tuning in and joining us. This has been fun, driving through hell, learning some things about our characters. All very good. But until next time, I am your storyteller, Sage.
And I am Celeste Conowitch. You're too curious. You're dangerously curious. Tiefling Wizard Melody.
I'm JB, and I was playing
Lord Roland Belran Dan Cadriel.
your war cleric of Cullenvor.
I am Katie, and I play Kaylee Bramblebarrel, your deeply troubled halfling monk.
So troubled.
So sad, so true. And I, Naseem, have been your somewhat misguided dwarven fighter, the erroneous Dohard.
I'm Paul, and I have been your rapidly becoming less innocent
Seriously.
Fire Genasi Artificer, Calvin Coleridge.
Fabulous, friends. I can't wait. Oh, things are starting to shake up as we are in the sandbox of hell. And you know what you all should do until next time?
Venture to
Venture
hell!
Oh my god,
Did
venture to
you-
hell, everybody! Your fan, I'm so
so-
scared.
So hot.
Okay,
It is so hot.
bye, everybody.